Okay, this is going to be the review of the Bosto Kingtee 22 HD tablet. We did the unboxing before, showed you everything that came with it. So you get the 22 HD tablet, which is full HD resolution. I've set this up just for ease of use again on my Ergotron arm. It does make a big difference to how you can position it, especially for a tablet this big. It's good that you can just drop it down, move it around, very easy on this arm, just stays in position. Even rotate it through portrait and landscape mode, like that. So I'd highly recommend getting one of these Ergotron arms, which are a Visa mount. With this tablet, it comes with like a little kickstand that you basically comes unattached. You get 4 screws. You can attach the screws to the back of the this, and you get a small little kickstand. It's an okay stand, but for professional artists, I think you need that. You need that flexibility there that you can use, that you can get with these Ergotron arms. Doesn't have to be Ergotron, you can find something else similar, but you can pick them up off eBay quite cheap, so I'd highly recommend that. So you get the pen as well, which is a wireless pen, very similar to the pens you get with a Wacom tablet. I got 4 nibs with it, nib extraction tool. In with the tablet, it came with a screwdriver as well, so you can actually screw on the kickstand straight away, which was great. Nice little addition. And it even came with a 2-fingered glove, like the SmudgeGuard gloves. They call it a VKK glove or something like that, but it's similar to the SmudgeGuard gloves. It's got two fingers covered, so you don't leave greasy marks all over the screen. This is a very cool tablet. I do know a lot of people say the Wacoms get quite hot to touch. It's not scorching hot, but they get hot to touch. This stays very, very cool. You can have it on for hours and hours of use, and it's still a very, very cool tablet to use. And that's generally it, basically. Just looking at the tablet itself, it's got your main area there, your working area. It's got quite a thick bezel around the edge of it, which I think would have been nice because it doesn't have any express keys. I think it would have been nice if they could have put some express keys down here, either touch sensitive, something like that, just down the side, which would have been great for things like, you know, zooming in, zooming out, switching to certain brushes, that kind of thing. Just something you could set down the side. Whether that would kind of like bump up the price of these tablets, I don't know. Maybe it's a reason why a lot of these tablets don't have these express keys on. But it'd be a nice addition. So if I said to Bosto themselves, if you were going to bring out another tablet like this, bring out one that's got some express keys on as well. Apart from that, you've got your Bosto logo down here, a light down at the bottom here which tells you whether it's on. Round the side here, you've got adjustments for brightness, contrast, your colour. All your general monitor type settings are all down the side here on a few buttons. It has a volume control as well, so I'm assuming that the monitor itself has speakers built in, but I've no way of testing that. If it doesn't, it's not a big deal because most tablets don't. This may have, but I can't test that at the moment anyway. And it looks like a nice monitor. It's swish. It's nice and it feels well made. I can't fault the overall look of the actual tablet at all. It has a very simple Bosto logo at the bottom of here. Being a graphic designer, it'd be just having a nice logo down here would really make this a really pristine, higher end feel. If you go on Bosto's website, they have a lovely kind of like multicoloured flower logo. If that was inset into there with either a nice little logo on there. I think this would really make this feel like a bit of an upmarket model. That just lets it down a bit, does the logo at the bottom, but in use that's not going to make a lot of difference, so don't worry about it too much. But it does feel particularly well made, so I'm quite happy with the overall look of the tablet. So what I'll do now is I'll just open a few programs, do a few little bits of sketching and just see how it goes. Now just a bit to say about this. I have had it for about 2 to 3 weeks. I've dabbled in it. There's been a few little quirks with it, but nothing major that will put me off from, say, buying one of these tablets. Everything's had a workaround. Everything is now in every program working pretty well. I'll open the programs. We may get some glitches on the way, but we'll just see if we can work through those and see what happens. So first of all, we'll try a program called Mischief, which I've tried before. Pretty cheap program online. And we'll just delve straight in here, and as you can see, you probably can't see the cursor there, but I'll start drawing a few little cartoony sketches and we can see how it reacts. So just do something like this, and as you can see there, it reacts pretty well and pretty fast. To just doing a really quick cartoony sketch. And there you have it. You know, it just shows how the actual tablet reacts as you're using the stylus. It's got really good responsiveness. It just feels very intuitive. There's not much, I mean, you can't probably see it, but if I just draw a line straight down like that, I'm just going to put the keyboard under here and Z that, just drawing lines in general, just really to try and catch the tablet out of it, and it doesn't. I mean, you probably see loads of people doing this with these tablets that are only scribbling lines, things like that. It is a good thing to do because it does sometimes give little idiosyncrasies between these tablets where you can draw a line and you pull off too quick and you get another line shoot off over here. It shows that this reacts quite well and that you can come away from the tablet and sketch pretty fast. I'll just delete that, and again, just again a very quick, sketchy, cartoon type drawing. Even just picking up things like doing little dots, it's quite easy to do. Now what I do is all head. Yeah, it's just, it does come across as a very slick tablet to use, really. What I'll do is I'll just open the drivers for the tablet so you can see there. You basically got, when it opens, onto pen settings, you've got this curve profile bar here, which probably doesn't mean much to anybody, but it shows the tangent profile of the pressure sensitivity. You've got a little dial down here, and as you move that dial, that tangent changes, and you can adjust your pressure sensitivity on there, and sketch away in this little pad section here to see how it adjusts the sensitivity. So like there's the very little low end pressure sensitivity there, and if we just clear that and then dial it right round to the end, you can see on here you've got your light sensitivity right up to your thick sensitivity, so you can mess around with it in between any of those levels. You've got nib pressure sensitivity options in there, you've got nib click sensitivity, options to right key and double click keys. If you click on mapping, it then shows mapped between two monitors, and you can specify whether it's mapped to monitor 1 or monitor 2. Auto settings you can click on down there, which it'll try and do an auto setting to configure for the monitors that you've got. I find a lot of times it doesn't work, you've got to do it manually and calibrate manually. Clicking calibrate will bring up 4 points around the screen that you click on, and it will calibrate it as close as it can. To be honest, straight out from initial use, the cursor's been pretty much on the end of the pen nib on this, and it draws pretty close to where you place in the pen, so I've not had any problems there either. And obviously about section just tells you about the driver itself, you know, who it's registered copyright wise. So very basic settings in there, which is all you really need in a driver, not too complicated. So that's its use in Mischief. Reacts very well. If we just close out Mischief, we won't save that, and we'll have a look at ZBrush. So just coming away a bit from drawing packages and into one of these organic sculpting packages like ZBrush, which a lot of people do like to use their tablets for. I just need to wait for this to load up and then drag it across. There we go. And then expand it. And if we go into Dynamesh ball, just scale up a bit, hopefully you can see that there. One thing I would say about this particular tablet is that the viewing angle is very good. It's an IPS screen and it does have a very good viewing angle. I did one of my previous reviews is of a Huion GT190. GT190 was a very good tablet. I've used it for doing a lot of bits of work on. It had its idiosyncrasies again, like most of these tablets do, that you can work around, and it becomes a very usable tablet. The only thing with the GT190 is it had a very poor viewing angle. With most of these tablets you view straight on when you're doing your drawing anyway, so it wasn't a major problem. But this does have a very good viewing angle. You know, it's even better viewing angle than say my DELL monitor that I've got behind here. This is a better viewing angle. It's not the brightest of screens. I've tried adjusting the brightness up and down contrast, and sometimes you'll get to a point where you'll lose some of like, you know, where you've got like your things across the top here where, just for example, you've got things that across here you're writing across your menu options, take your contrast or your brightness too high and they'll start to wash out. So this isn't as bright as my DELL monitor, which I think is just due to how this is lit at the back. I think it's an LED lit screen, and it's just not as bright as that particular monitor, but it's bright enough to work on. As you can see, it's got plenty of brightness. So just having a go on here. So as you can see, I can draw on this. I can put plenty of pressure on, and it will really bulk out that on there. So you could really start in there with some big movements. Just sketching stuff in really quick as to where certain things will be. And put a bit of light pressure on, you get that light effect on it. Yeah, you can just build up layers, especially if I go into something like the clay mode. Just add stripes of clay in there. You know, if you were doing muscular sections on arms and things like that, doing general organic modelling, you can actually feel and see, you know, where you build up muscles on these kind of things. This is going to be a great sculpt, because it takes time in ZBrush to get a decent sculpt down, but as you can see, you can build up this really easy and really well, and the pressure sensitivity works absolutely flawlessly on here. No glitches, nothing at all. It just works really nice. And this is all set in symmetry mode, so it's doing it all on both sides, you know, whatever I'm doing on here. But as you can see, it's just nice to work with. We're going to subtract, take bits away. It's just a really nice feel. I've not actually sat down and managed to do a full proper sculpture in ZBrush yet using this tablet, but I just get a feeling it's going to be very organic. You feel to get that feedback really directly. It's very quick in response. It's just a really nice feel. And obviously with the tablet itself being a HD tablet, up to full 1080, it's a great resolution. Just scaling up on these and into the detail you can get down into on there is excellent. So that gives you an idea of how it works in ZBrush. Let's move along to another program. So we'll have a look at Manga Studio. So Manga Studio, it's one that a lot of people uses this. Obviously, comic book artists, things like that. Manga Studio is their preference as a drawing package. This is the main package that gave me the most problems. Turned out to be not a major problem, and it was probably me just not knowing enough about these kind of Chinese tablets compared to a Wacom tablet. I installed Manga Studio. All of the programs that I'd used have been working fine, and with this one basically I was trying to draw. I could select brushes, I could see the cursor moving on the screen, but if I pressed down on the screen it wasn't leaving any marks at all on the screen. Eventually found out that you have to go into, with this particular tablet anyway, you have to go into your preferences mode in Manga Studio, and you've got a little tick box here which says use mouse mode from driver tablet settings. if that's not ticked, it won't leave any marks. If it is ticked, it'll work fine. And that's all it was. That is the only problem I had in this particular package. And once it's ticked, it works a treat. So basically, again, just doing the type of work that I've been used to doing for years, you know, cartooning work. Very responsive, very nice. She's very smooth lines. Should have running happy really, because it's a tablet that works really well. I actually initially thought when I first used this tablet that it wasn't as good at drawing on this tablet as it was with the Huion GT190. I actually thought at first that the Huion GT190 was a better drawing tablet. The more I've used this, and with the new drivers as well that I've installed for this, because they do bring out drivers fairly frequently. They have a Facebook page, they keep that updated and tell people when drivers are out. Not had any issues with that at all. I'm in touch with a guy in who works at Bosto called Andre Belkov. It was very kind to supply me with this as a test and review piece. And he's been very, very good at getting back to me with any problems I've had with the tablet, you know, any tips of what to do to counteract things. So that I think their support has been really good. I have read a lot of other reviews of this tablet on YouTube. One person on there gives it a really, really rough review, and mainly because sometimes when your computer goes to sleep, this goes to sleep, obviously the monitor goes to sleep, and it comes back on, I'd be drawing a line across, and if you look on YouTube yourself and see the videos that are available about this particular tablet, there's quite a few people who are drawing lines across the screen, and the line will go up down the screen, so it'll just shoot down the screen and back up. I'm having to simulate this for you because it's not doing it on here at present, but sometimes if your computer goes to sleep, this goes to sleep, you bring it back on, your program's still up, and you go to draw, and it does that if the line suddenly drops down the screen on its own, and again like this, like a little oscilloscope, you know, doing that across the screen by itself, and you can't draw straight lines. All you have to do is switch the tablet off, unplug the USB cable, plug the USB cable back in and switch the tablet on, and it cures it. It's as simple as that. It's a little tiny fault there. Don't know why it does it, but there is that workaround there that, you know, all you have to do is switch off the tablet, switch back on. You don't have to install your drivers again. You don't have to do anything like that. All you have to do is switch off the tablet, unplug the USB, plug it back in, switch back on the tablet, and it will work just as it did before. And that is the only issue I've found with this tablet. Apart from that, I think this is a fantastic tablet for the money. And that is the best thing I can say about it, really. It is a real proper competitor with the Wacom HD tablets. I've seen, like I say, I've seen reviews, and there are other people who give it absolutely terrible reviews, but then you look at some other work that people are doing on there on YouTube, who are using this tablet, they're doing work on it, they're doing some amazing pieces of work. They're not reviewing the tablet, they're not giving their opinion on the tablet, they're just showing themselves working on this tablet, and they're doing some absolutely fantastic pieces of work. To do that kind of work, it must be a decent tablet, and the people who are giving this bad reviews, they're either very Wacom orientated people, and they may have glitches when they're using it with either things that are interfering with the drivers. All tablets, even Wacom tablets, are very, very finicky with drivers, and sometimes you have to work around these things, find workarounds, and get in touch with the people that make them, and usually they can help you no end. But I mean, this just works an absolute treat, to be honest. I mean, I can't really give it a better review than just saying it does feel really, really nice to use. As you can see, just me using it here is shows how smooth it is. It shows how responsive this tablet is. It's just so nice to use. I'm just thinking, I'm yet to find. I mean, I've only reviewed, a couple of these tablets so far, but I've yet to find an actual bad Chinese, graphics tablet to date. I'm in touch with a couple of the companies who I'm hoping will send me theirs to review, to compare these. There's another company out there called Bosto. Sounds similar to Bosto, but another company called Bosto who do, they've told me they do a 22-inch and a 19-inch. They're looking to send me the 19-inch to test. Hopefully after doing that they'll send me the 22-inch version to test. And it's just the ones I've done so far are very hard to fault for the money. Like I said, they've got the quirks. If you can work around those quirks, just like any of these tablets, even a Wacom tablet, it's just something that you have to do with these tablets. I think the technology for these tablets is quite old. It's been around a while as this electromagnetic technology, and it's just something that I think is inherently glitchy sometimes, but I've worked through all the glitches that I've had with Bosto Direct, with working with Andre, and he's taught me through things, and this is working really, really well. So it's a nice little tablet. So we'll just have a look at some other programs. Like I say, it just seems to work well in absolutely every program. So we'll try it in Photoshop here as well. I mean, inherently in Photoshop, most tablets that I've used to date have been a bit glitchy on how smooth the lines are. I do tend to get jittery lines on most tablets that I've used within Photoshop, and that's even with Wacom tablets as well. But we'll have a look at this. And just to say that this does work very well in a dual monitor setup. Obviously, because both of these screens that I've got, the highest resolution that they go up to is 1080. They're both identical to each other, really. Nothing really you have to worry about in your settings on this at all, and the mapping of the actual monitors themselves is very good. So we'll just zoom in a bit on this, so hopefully you can see that. I'll turn this to black. Get rid of some of these lines. Just being a bit more sketchy here. just a slight pause in the video there because I ran out of recording space, or the limit on the recording time. Being a bit more sketchy in Photoshop here. But I must say, with this particular tablet, and we'll just give it a quick test as well on some standard lines. I like to show some drawing ability here rather than just doing scribbly lines all over the place. If I just draw a line, a straight line there, and there, these lines are pretty straight. I mean, there's a little wobble which you would do. I mean, I'm zoomed in anyway. If I just zoom back out a bit, take it back to around about 100%. These are quite smooth lines, and I don't feel to be getting the same kind of like jitters on the lines that I used to get on other tablets. I mean, there's a bit of a wobble in there, but I don't think it's anything that's going to be detrimental to anybody's artwork, especially in Photoshop. I mean, I tend to use Photoshop mainly for sketchy painting work, that kind of thing. But it just feels very, very nice to use in Photoshop as well. There doesn't feel to be a lag. The cursor's pretty much, I mean, I don't think you ever want your cursor in these tablets to be right under the tip of the pen. You want your cursor to be just a little bit away from it so you can see where your cursor is. And the more you use the tablet, the more you get used to that position and drawing to that position anyway. So it's just very nice to use. Yeah, it's I kind of like, just think it's so I do find it hard sometimes to draw and talk at the same time, but I'll try and carry on. It's just a really nice feel. It seems to work really well. Yeah, just general sketching and things. It's a nice tablet. I don't think really. I mean, going just on the pen itself, like I said before, it is a wireless pen, and this does have an eraser on the other end, so you can get in there, just flip the pen over and erase. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of wobble on that line still. Just goes up there, be nice and smooth, but then it just starts to wobble there a bit, and a bit of wobble towards the end as it So I'd say Photoshop doesn't give the smoothest lines in this. But you can get some nice fine, I mean I've got this pretty much set in the drivers very close to like the highest pressure sensitivity level, and it's just, you can get some really kind of nice fine work on, and again it will take you a while just to get used to how you adjust to that feel, how much pressure you need to put on. But it is a really lovely looking tablet. Obviously I'm using this now as well as a second monitor. I can drag, you know, windows across into it. Just quit that, so I can pull different windows across over here and work in my, I mainly do animation work and things like that, so I can pull things across now. Say in Cinema 4D, which I use, I can have the main windows open over here. I can push this back and use it next to my, just on the side of my DELL monitor at an angle. So it's great as a second monitor, but even better that it's got that pressure sensitivity there as well. I think it would be great if one of these companies could come out with a tablet like this. If Bosto could do it, would be great, where you've got maybe a switch where you can have it as a pressure sensitivity tablet, so like a Wacom Cintiq, which this is basically emulating, whether you've got a switch where you can then turn it to a touchscreen monitor as well. So if I could then be able to just touch the screen at the flick of a button and it would turn on the touch sensitivity, that'd be good. And then another switch, a flick of the switch, and it would turn the touch sensitivity off, and then our pressure sensitivity. If there was some way of making something like that, it would be an excellent thing to do, really. But how this works, just in general, as a monitor, as a second monitor, but also as a Cintiq alternative, is brilliant. What I'll do is as well just try and show you a decent image on the screen as well. Maybe look for some, just like a HD wallpaper or something, just to show you how nice this renders colour out and things like that. Let's see if I can preview this, and I'll drag it across onto the screen. It gives a pretty good rendition there on, you know, how it displays colour. You've got a bit of reflection from my lamp there, but turn it to full screen. So it renders colour out very nice as well, just as a general monitor. I mean, I've done a few bits of work on this. I do a bit of logo design, that kind of thing, and the colours that I've used on here, even really kind of like as an uncalibrated monitor, they actually come out very well, and as I'm seeing them on screen, which is really good. And like I said, the viewing angle, if we just tilt that, I'm getting a bit of reflection in there, like I say, from my lamp, but don't go too far. You can just see how it doesn't really lose any of that fidelity at angles. It's nice, kind of smooth screen. I think from some of the reviews, I don't know if that was an earlier tablet, but a other people were using it, you could hear a bit of a scrapey sound as they were using it, and some people saying it had a bit more of a paper feel. I'd say it probably doesn't. It's very similar to other tablets that I've tested, and it's got a very shiny surface. So you've got, I don't know, maybe it might be down to the nibs as well against this glass, but you feel it feels to have a bit more resistance against this surface. So it might be a slightly not as shiny as other surfaces that I've used on other tablets. But it's a very nice tablet. So that was my review on the Bosto Kingtee 22 HD. Just in a nutshell, it's a very nice looking tablet. It feels well built. Just going back to the unboxing, well packaged. The thought about extras in there, like, you know, supplying the, I know it doesn't make a lot of difference to how it works, but just little things that they include, like the 2-finger glove, the screwdriver to put the stand on. That there's some thought there from the company that produced this into just lifting it above being a cheap alternative. I think it works extremely well, and I don't think anybody who buy one of these would be regretting it at all. I'd say, personally myself, I'd say don't go by some of the other reviews that you've seen. I think a lot of people are getting this, they're having these little minor glitches, and if you look into it, there are usually workarounds to those glitches. There's a lot of people saying it's unusable, they've sent it back straight away, things like that, without even looking into the problems and what might be affecting those things. In the end, you work in a computer will have glitches, it's a man-made thing. It might have glitches in there in software that's reacting to the drivers, you know, but there's ways around it. I've had those glitches, like the lines shooting down screen, found a way around it, and now it works fine. Problems in Manga Studio where you find out you have to go into preferences and tick a box, you know, and it works. So I'd say it's a big thumbs up for the Bosto Kingtee 22 HD. Highly recommended. If you're wanting a full HD touchscreen, no, it's not touchscreen, sorry. If you're wanting a full HD touch sensitive Cintiq alternative, and at the price that they are at the moment, if I just have a look on, so we'll just go on here, and there'll be a link at the bottom of this review to Bosto's site, and I'll put a link to Amazon as well. Obviously, buying direct from Bosto, depending on your country and how they package. So just bring over here, and this is the logo I was talking about. If we can just bring this closer to that way around. So this is Bosto's website. This is the logo I was saying, which would be nice if it was inlaid down here. Because it's a nice logo, I like their logo. You could go direct to their store from here. And you're talking the Kingtee 22 HD pen display, $799. So I'm in the UK, so we'll do a dollars to pounds. Oops. So $799 works out at current exchange rate around about £480 for one of these tablets, which I think is an absolute bargain. For what this will do, you know, like I said, I've just been into it. I mean, it's saying here like IPS panel, 178 degrees viewing angles. So it's actually a 21.5 inch display. Display resolution 1920 by 1080. It's a HIPS LED screen with a 178 degree viewing angle. I'd say it's over that, to be honest. Pressure sensitivity, both tip and eraser, is 2048 levels of pressure sensitivity with a tablet resolution of 5080 LPI. It's a cordless battery-free pen. You've got USB connection on this, like all these tablets do, connect via USB. Your display connection, you can either connect via the VGA, standard VGA cable, DVI, or it has HDMI as well. Beauty of that is if you've got another monitor set up already and you've got a graphics card that will accept a HDMI as well, you can use that as well and have 3 monitors running at the same time. So you can have a VGA connected, a DVI connected, and a HDMI. Works in Windows operating system XP, SP3, Vista SP2, Windows 7 and Windows 8 in both 32 and 64-bit. Works on Mac operating system OS X up to version 10.9.1. I'm hoping at some point to try and test this on a Mac. I don't have a Mac, I've only got a PC, but I'm in talks with somebody to see if they can supply me with an Apple Mac to test this on as well. It says you get free drawing gloves, so the 2-fingered says SmudgeGuard drawing glove. And obviously you've just got to look into things like about your shipping costs to your particular country. I know a lot of these companies will try and help you out as much as possible with the VAT costs within your country. I think in the UK there was no duty to pay on this, it was just VAT basically. But that's for you to work out with Bosto if you decide to go ahead and buy one. But this is really nice. So it's the Bosto Kingtee 22 HD pen display. I would personally say ignore some of the reviews that are out there where people haven't given this a really good time to bed in and see how it works and iron out any flaws. I've done a few bits of work on it and I love this. I love this tablet. So that's it. Thank you for watching another Pixel Mover, another Tested by Pixel Movers review, and hopefully there'll be more of these tablet reviews to follow. I know that I'm going to try and keep in touch with Bosto, and they're constantly working on new products, and if they come out with something new, I'll have that on this on my YouTube channel as well. So keep watching. Thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.